Greetings, everybody, and welcome to our rapid response worker information meeting. A rapid response plays an important role in providing customer-focused services to dislocated workers, ensuring immediate access to affected workers to help them quickly re-enter the workforce. Basically, what we're saying today is we're going to help you get back into the workforce as seamlessly as possible. Some of the things we're going to cover today is an overview of our one-stop shop centers, or our AJCs, some of the workshops and programs that we have, our core partners, the unemployment process, if you haven't started your unemployment claims yet, how to get that started, and how to do your weekly claims, what's expected of you. And then we're going to have Title III come and talk about some of our learn and education training services. Our first presenters today is going to be the Department of Health and Human Services. They're going to be talking about SNAP, FIP, Medicaid, and child care assistance. They were not able to make it today, so we're going to watch a short video that talks about their services.
I'm with the Iowa Department of Human Services, and I'm here to inform you on the types of benefits you can potentially qualify for during your trying times. We handle three main types of benefits: Supplement Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP. This program replaced the old Food Assistance Program. We also handle Medicaid and Family Investment Program, also known as FIP. The department also accepts application for child care assistance, but a different department within DHS will process and handle that program. All of our programs are income-based. That means if you have very little income or no income at all, more than likely you will qualify for benefits. There are other criteria that we look at, but income is the main thing we check for first.
Let's talk about SNAP, formerly known as the Food Assistance Program. Depending on who lives with you and share and prepare meals with you, that will determine your household size. If you have a child under the age of 22 living with you, they are considered as part of your household. The income of your household will determine if you qualify for SNAP. If you do qualify for SNAP, you will receive an EBT card, which is used like a debit card that you will be using to purchase food with.
The next program is Medicaid. Medicaid is a health insurance program based on income. While basic Medicaid is mainly determined by a person's tax filing status, as well as relationship to others in the household, a person can qualify for this program without having children, being a child, pregnant, age, and the definition of age is someone who is 65 years old or older, blind, or disabled. If a child is living with someone other than a parent, the income of the non-parental caretaker is not considered.
The third program we handle is the Family Investment Program, also known as FIP. This is Iowa's Temporary Assistance to Needy Families, TANF program. FIP provides cash assistance to needy family as they become self-supporting so that the children may be cared for in their home or in the homes of relatives. To qualify for FIP, you must have a child under the age of 18 or up to 18 years old, as long as that child will graduate high school before turning 19. Living in the home with a specified relative are immediate family members, either through biological, marriage, or adoption. There is a lifetime maximum of 60 months for this program. If you move from one state to another state, this lifetime maximum will follow you. In order to qualify for FIP, you need to sign a family investment agreement with Promise Jobs. This agreement is what Promise Jobs believes on you what you need to do to become self-sufficient and can vary from one person to another. You will also need to cooperate with child support. If you don't cooperate with child support, your benefits will be reduced. Once you qualify for FIP, you will receive a EAC card, which is a debit type card that is separate from the food card for SNAP.
And lastly, we handle child care assistance, CCA. This program is available to the children of income-eligible parents who are absent a portion of the day due to employment or participating in academic or vocational training or promised job activities. Assistance may also be available for a limited period of time to the children of parent or caretaker looking for employment.
All right, that was the Department of Health and Human Services. If you have any questions, this is the contact information for the state of Iowa. Next up, we have Sherry from the Department of Labor.
And I'm Sherry Coleman with U.S. Department of Labor, and we're here to give you just a little information
Sherry?
on employer benefits. So we here at U.S. Department of Labor, we administer ERISA law. ERISA is a law that governs many of the benefits sponsored by private sector employers. Job loss can affect those benefits, and there's also timely action needed to protect those benefits. So you want to be sure that you're taking timely actions as it relates to your benefits, transitions in your group health plan, and things of that nature. Next slide, please. So again, as it relates to your health insurance benefits, you do have options in that transition. There are special enrollment options that are considered because you're having this transition in employment due to a loss of employment, reduction of hours are considered special enrollment options. And with that special enrollment, you have an opportunity to enroll in COBRA. And COBRA is just a continuation of your group health plan that your employer offered to you. That COBRA coverage is often the same type of insurance that was available as an active employee. The big difference there is that you're paying the entire premium. Whereas an active employee, your employer likely paid a portion of that premium for you. Under COBRA coverage, you're responsible for that entire premium. The portion that you paid as an employee, along with the portion that your employer paid, and in addition, a 2% administrative fee. So that COBRA coverage can often get quite expensive. So we make sure that people understand that, so to look at the other options that you have available. And those other options would be coverage through a government program, such as what was discussed there in the video from Health and Human Services. That would be one of the Medicaid programs available within your state. And there are some COVID guidelines, public emergency health guidelines that extended those enrollment opportunities for that Medicaid coverage. And so if you're concerned and you're wanting to know if you're covered, certainly as the video expressed there with the Health and Human Services Department, reach out to them to see if you're eligible, if that is a desire for you or your family. Or you can certainly reach out to us here at the Department of Labor as well. And the third option that you would have available under this special enrollment option, again, change of jobs, reduction of hours, allows you a special enrollment option to enroll in a COBRA plan, the Medicaid plan that I just discussed, and that third option would be coverage through one of the healthcare.gov plans. And those are considered our marketplace plans. You can review any marketplace plan under healthcare.gov. Again, that's healthcare, all one word, .gov. And from that, you're able to select your state, and it likely will ask you a few general questions regarding your income and your family size. From that, you're able to see what type of marketplace plans you would be eligible for within your family. That would also show you the cost of those marketplace plans, which would give you an opportunity to compare those costs with the cost of that COBRA coverage we talked about a little earlier. So just doing your due diligence there and researching the plans to make sure that they are cost effective for your family. And the other option there with those marketplace plans, just be sure that those plans that you may select have the services that your family needs. If there are specific doctors or specific care that your family needs, you want to assure that those marketplace plans that you select cover that specific option. Next slide, please. And the other thing that we do here at Department of Labor is help individuals and give you information as it relates to your retirement plan. If you had a retirement plan there at your employer, you want to make sure that you keep the plan and or your past employer informed of your address. It's difficult for the plan to contact you and give you vital information and or let you know what options that you have for withdrawing an account if they don't have your current address. So it's very important that when you're leaving the employer, that you have information as it relates to your retirement plan, and that those individuals that are involved have your correct address and or email address if you have one available. That's how those plans would communicate with you vital information that you need. And you want to make sure that you're getting information from the plan at least annually. And what that means is if you're involved in a 401k plan or you had some pension benefits available to your employer, you should be receiving statements as it relates to those benefits. Statements showing you what the balance are, if there are any increases or decreases in that account. So again, just very important that the plan and or your past employer has your current address on file so that they can send you the vital information needed as it relates to the plan and the information specific to your account. And then there are benefit payment rules specific to each plan. And those are different depending upon the employer. So it would be vital for you to understand from the plan itself what the rules are. And what that means is some plans have rules available that would allow one to withdraw from the account prior to retirement age, which is often 65, which is our next bullet there. But some plans allow an individual to withdraw from their account, likely if you're 55 and you've served so many years within the employer, you can do early withdrawals. So it's important that you understand those rules. And if you don't understand those rules, you certainly have a right to ask the plan for a summary of the description of how the plan works. What are the vital rules? How do they distribute the plan, the assets within the account? So it's vital that you request a summary plan description if you don't have one of those on file so that you understand how to access your benefits when you're ready for those. Again, age 65 is often the retirement age for most plans, but if you're wanting something different, just check with the plan to see if there's any availability. Some other time specified by the plan, again, that's what I mentioned, that some plans, depending upon the rules there, allow you to withdraw early. And so it would be specific to that plan. If you're needing information, you can certainly contact the plan itself. And that's what we're here to do at Department of Labor, to help you with that information if you need. So here at the end of this presentation, we'll be sure that you have contact information so that you can reach out to us here at Department of Labor if you need. Next slide. Awesome. And so here is our contact information, Employee Benefit Security Benefits Advisor. And again, that's what I do here at Department of Labor. We have benefits advisors that are able to help you understand and access any benefits that you have. And you can reach us at our toll-free number at 866-444-3272. You can also look us up via website, and that's at www.dol.gov/agencies.edsa. And there you can also find several resources that are very informative as it relates to your retirement benefits, healthcare benefits, certain questions as it relates to dislocated workers. So I would encourage you to, if you have an opportunity, to look at that website. There's lots of vital information as it relates to dislocated workers. And then I mentioned earlier in the slide that with your special enrollment options, you do have an opportunity to enroll in any marketplace plan. And here you have the website in which to review those plans. Again, that website is healthcare, one word, healthcare.gov. And we also have an 800 number available here that if you'd like to just call them and ask any questions as it relates to the healthcare.gov website. And that phone number is 800-318-2596. Thank you so much for having us here today, and have a great day.
Thank you very much, Sherry. Appreciate you
You're welcome.
participating in the win today. All right, moving on. We're going to talk a little bit about what you can expect from our one-stop services here at our AJC. So these are some of the services that we have. We'll start off with veteran services. If you are a veteran, thank you for your service. You have a priority of service, which we actually have one of our HBI career planners that's going to talk a little more in depth about that here in just a little bit. We have unemployment services. If you need assistance filing your initial claim or even your weekly claims, putting in your job searches for the week, you can always come in and get some assistance with a career planner. We deal with the registered apprenticeship services here, so we can connect you with a career planner that can help connect you with a registered apprenticeship here in the state of Iowa. We do office proficiency assessments, mainly our typing tests. You can come in at any time, walk in and take one of those tests if you need it for your next career. We also do a national career readiness certificate. Another thing, you can come in and take this test. It looks good on a resume, especially if you hadn't had any recent education or training. It just shows the employer that you're ready to go back to work. We have job readiness workshops, and these are all online. We'll send these out, the calendar, to everybody that watches the workshops, or you can find them in IowaWORKS.gov under our events calendar, or even under our Facebook Des Moines homepage. Every Monday here in our Des Moines central office here at 200 Army Post Road, we do meet and greets, hiring events. Basically, we have 2 to 3 employers come in from 11 to 1, and they just do open interviews. And I believe they have similar activities at all the different AJCs around the state. Who we partner with is here in our AJC would be our Title I and dislocated workers. We have Iowa Workforce Development that works with unemployment. We do adult education and workforce training academy, vocational rehab, job course, and senior work programs, and a lot of other programs and a lot of other partners throughout the state that we actually work with. Job search and career planning and development services. If you're looking to come in and work with a career planner, it's all walk-in services, or you can create a virtual appointment online through the events calendar in IowaWorks. But work registration is basically creating an account in IowaWorks.gov, and this is a requirement for unemployment insurance. We could do skills assessments with our ONETs. We could do job search assessments, referrals to different employers in the area. We have a thing called job development, which is if you're job ready, you have a good resume, you've had a mock interview, they could do a referral, and we can help connect you with different businesses throughout the central Iowa area, help with the employment process and reemployment process a little bit faster. We do career explorations, assist with resume and cover letters, of course. That's probably the first thing we're going to do when you come in. And we also do mock interviews. Real important, if you haven't had to do an interview in a while, I know interviews can be kind of intimidating. So come on in and get a mock interview. Make sure you're ready to go for your next employer. Next, we have Noel from Veteran Services, or HBI, talking about some of the veteran services here at the AJC.
Hi, everyone. My name is Noelle Gerard, and I work on the Veteran Service team as a home-based Iowa career planner. Today, I wanted to quickly inform you about the veteran services at Iowa Works. To begin, in addition to all of the services already mentioned, all Iowa Works centers provide veterans with priority of service. So if you're a veteran who comes into one of our centers, what that means is that you can receive access to resources and services earlier than others, and when the service or resource is limited, veterans will receive access before others. Next slide. Veterans are also eligible to receive comprehensive one-on-one case management services, including the creation of an individual employment plan that is personalized according to your interests and needs, assistance translating your military background into civilian terms, various assessments to help match you with a career path, job referrals, continuous career coaching, and referrals to other veteran supportive services. Next slide. I'd also like to tell you more about our program, Home-Based Iowa. It's a program that is unique to Iowa in that we work with all veterans, regardless of time in service, active or reserve affiliation, or discharge type. Our services also extend to spouses of veterans. With this program, we work to connect qualified veteran job seekers with local businesses looking to hire veterans. To do this, Home-Based Iowa career planners throughout the state work closely with our local veteran employment representatives to make those connections. The local veteran employment representatives, who we refer to as levers, reach out to local businesses to advocate on the benefits of hiring veterans, which results in our levers being connected to a wide network of veteran-friendly local employers who we can refer our veterans to. Next slide. If you are a veteran or a spouse who is interested in receiving services through Homebase Iowa, you can contact us on the emails on the screen. The first contact, Robert Hagee, is the leaver based out of Des Moines, while Michael Abramsky and I are Homebase Iowa career planners based out of Camp Dodge and Des Moines. However, our program has leavers and Homebase Iowa career planners throughout the state. So if you're not in the central Iowa area, we can still connect you with the closest Homebase Iowa representative. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Noelle, and thank you, Noelle, for your service. Next up, we're going to be talking about unemployment services. I realize some of you might have already completed your initial claim for UI, but some of the individuals watching this video have not. So we're going to go over how to apply for your initial claim, what to do after you make your initial claim, make sure there's no surprises, and then you can ask any questions. All right, the first thing you want to know before you actually make your initial claim is you need to be able and available to work. So what does that mean? That means if an employer calls you tomorrow, you should be able to show up and be at work. You shouldn't be on vacation in Mexico. You shouldn't be laid up in the hospital. You should be able to get to work. You also need to be actively seeking work. That means making job searches every week, and you'll need to document those in your IowaWorks, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. You need to be registered for work. That just basically means having an account in IowaWorks and having an active resume. And it's your responsibility to read the claimant handbook, because any questions that you should have on UI should be located in there. When you apply for UI, to make the application process a little more seamless, these are some of the things you might want to have on hand. The process generally takes an individual about 15 to 30 minutes, but you always want to have your social security number, be aware of it or have it on hand, the name of your payroll, name of your employer, your payroll address and telephone number, the start and end dates of your last job, whether or not you will receive vacation pay or severance, and your banking information. When you put in your banking information, there's 3 ways to receive your benefits. One is through the checking account, one is through your savings account for direct deposit, and they'll ask for your routing number and account numbers for that. The other way to get benefits is with the US Bank Rely card, and that is a debit card that will be sent to your house within 10 to 14 days after applying for unemployment. Where do you want to go to apply? This is a website right here, IowaWorkforceDevelopment.gov. When you get to the home page, it's going to take you to a screen that looks just like this. You'll click on Learn More, and it'll take you to your application. The application page is going to have 2 options for you. The first option is going to be sign in. So if you've ever applied for unemployment insurance in the past, you're going to have a sign in or a login and password already. All right. If you have never signed in or never used unemployment benefits in the past, you're going to register as a new user. All right. If you've logged in the past and you don't know your username or password, you can go down to forgot my username, forgot your password, and it's going to ask you some questions, and it will be able to retrieve that. If they're not able to retrieve that, or if you're having issues, you can call 866-235-0843. That's our unemployment help hotline. Or you can come into your local AJC, and one of our career planners will be able to help you retrieve your username or password. After applying, you're going to want to access your IowaWORKS.gov account. If you don't have one, you're going to want to create an account through IowaWorks.gov. So there's 2 different websites we're using. One is IowaWorks.gov. The other one's going to be IowaWorkforceDevelopment.gov. So your IowaWorks account is associated with your IowaWorks or IowaWorkforceDevelopment.gov, associated by your social security number. So when you create or access your IowaWorks.gov account, you want to make sure you have your correct social security number located into that account. You're using the right account. A lot of people are making duplicate accounts, and it's putting a hold on their benefits. So make sure your social security number is right in both of your accounts. You want to review and update your resume, all right, to reflect your most current employers. And this is where you're going to make your job searches every week and your reemployment activities every week. This is also going to be where you certify your weekly job searches and reemployment activities each week that you're going to have to do. All right, so after applying each week, we were talking about reemployment activities and job searches. So each week you're going to have to either make 4 job searches or make 3 job searches in 1 reemployment activity. And you're going to have to document this in your IowaWORKS.gov account. All right. And the information you're going to want to have is the date of contact, the company name, method of contact, contact information, address, phone number, etc., work position applied for, and the results of that. If you left the resume or if the position was filled, or what were the results of the application. All right, if you want to do a valid reemployment activity, there's some different things you can do. You can apply for a job. All right, that would count. Take a civil service exam. You can come in here and take a typing exam. Veterans can sign up for HBI, register for higher learning or education. You can interview for a job, attend any of the IowaWorks workshops, and those would be the virtual workshops you can sign up for online. You can attend an appointment with a career planner at IowaWorks. You can attend an appointment with a WIOA partner, vocational rehab, adult basic education, CFI, or our Title I programs, or you can even complete a mock interview. Any of these would count as a reemployment activity for the week. And remember, you have to have at least 4 job searches or 3 job searches and 1 reemployment activity. These are our workshops. How to register is right here, and these will be on the calendars that we will send out to you. Every week you'll need to file a weekly claim. But you want to make sure it's completed in this order. All right. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have all your job contacts, reemployment activities log into your IowaWorks.gov. And in the packets that we sent out, there is a step-by-step process to actually do that. And again, this can be kind of confusing using the 2 systems right now. So again, if you have any questions, you can call the 866-239-0843 hotline to get you to walk through that process, or you can come into your local AJC and we can walk you through that process for that initial time. All right. Before you make your weekly claim, you're going to want to certify your contacts. And again, that's done in IowaWorks.gov. Okay. Both of these are located under the main menu under unemployment activities. All right. Once you complete your weekly claim in IowaWorkforce.gov, you should be good for the week. So no surprises. When you make your initial claim, you'll get a monetary record. We call it a green sheet in the mail within 3 to 4 business days. This is not approval of your benefits. This just shows your record, what your wages were. If you find any mistakes that appear on your monetary record, you want to contact us completely to make sure everything is up to date and you're getting the correct amount of benefits. Also, pay attention to any other mailings that you might be receiving. Read them all carefully and respond if necessary, to provide numbers and email addresses to make sure all your contact information is up to date. If chosen as a payment method, if you choose to get the U.S. Bank Reliant card, it should arrive in the mail within 10 to 14 business days. And just to let you know, it comes in a blank white envelope. So a lot of people, believe it or not, throw it away because they think it's junk mail. So make sure you're looking out for that if you choose a U.S. Bank Reliant card. A new thing that they've started is identifying your identity. You can do this through IowaWorkforceDevelopment.gov's website under ID verification. All right. You're just basically taking a picture of your driver's license and your social security card and uploading it into the system. If again, you're having trouble with that, just come into your local AJC and we can get that taken care of within 2 to 3 minutes. Payments are typically received about 2 to 3 weeks after applying. All right. So once you apply, your claim goes through a determination phase, which takes about 2 to 3 weeks. So if everything goes through smooth, within 2 to 3 weeks after applying for your initial claim, you should start receiving payments. If a member of the IowaWorks team reaches out to you to engage in reemployment services through RCM or RISIA, this will usually take place about 2 weeks after filing. You want to make sure that you're responding to them. It is a requirement that you participate in any of these activities, or they can put a hold on your payments or your UI benefits. All right, any questions? Again, 866-239-0843 is the UI helpline. You can also email uiclaimshelp@wd.iowa.gov if you have any UI questions. Unemployment, this is our website, www.IowaWorkforceDevelopment.gov to make your claims. And again, all of your local AJCs, we have limited access to your claims, so we can help file your claims and hopefully answer any minute questions that you have. All right, thank you. Next, we have Aaron from Title I talking about some of their services.
Yes, thank you. So I know you all have had a lot of information today, maybe a little bit of information overload. Just bear with me. I do have some information that might be helpful for you as you start your job search and your job career journey. So a couple of quick things. We do have dislocated worker surveys. These are actually surveys that are required in order for you to receive your unemployment claim. And it's located at the IowaWORKS.gov dashboard. So it's pretty easy to find. The surveys are a tool that help us here at the Iowa Work Center to connect with dislocated workers who have identified specific job interests and maybe help us narrow down what services you might need and what opportunities you might be interested in. So they really are a beneficial tool for us here at the American Job Center. All the information provided in those surveys is strictly confidential, so you don't have to worry about it being distributed anywhere. Results will only be shared or used for reemployment services. So you can go to the next slide. So if you are wondering where the dislocated worker survey is, it is located on that Iowa Works dashboard, and there is a highlighted section on this screen that shows you where to go on the right-hand side. You can go to the next slide. So for Title I, WIOA Education and Training Services, if you see that acronym WIOA, or if you say Title I, those are going to be Title I, Connect Your Careers, they're all going to be kind of the same thing. What we do in Title I services, we provide one-on-one case management to dislocated workers. And our goal is to help you in your career pathway, your career, like your long-term career goals. A dislocated worker would be someone who is 18 years or older, is a citizen, or has work authorization to work in the United States, and is registered with Selective Service. This only applies to males who are born in 1969 or after. So if you are female, you don't have to worry about this. And then a dislocated worker must have lost their job due to no fault of their own. So if the company is closing, or if they are eliminating a position, or there's a massive layoff, those would all be qualifying reasons. And next slide. So how we help, we do have that one-on-one career exploration. What we mean by this is, there's multiple people who might be laid off, but from the same organization, but they're all experiencing something different. They have their own unique situation, their unique challenges, their goals. So we really do have that one-on-one career exploration with the participant as well as the career planner. And then we develop short-term and long-term goals, just kind of meaning that we evaluate your current life situation and what your current needs are, and then try to strategize ways to have your needs met in the immediate, short-term time, as well as developing a strategy for any long-term goals. We do develop a career pathway plan that's uniquely designed for you in that one-on-one career coaching. Something unique to know about our program, we do have 12 months of follow-up services. So what this means is if you were to enroll into Title I and receive some sort of training service, and let's say it takes you 4 months to complete that training, and then immediately after that training, you are offered a job and you accept that job and you move into a new career. We would follow up with you for 12 months after you started that job, just to make sure the transition is going well and that all of your needs are being met. And if there's anything that we can help with, if something does come up in that time, we're happy to do so. Next slide. So where we focus and what these trainings are, we have work-based learning training opportunities. So what this could look like would be an on-the-job training or an apprenticeship. On-the-job training is an opportunity to learn a job while being paid to do so, instead of going to school and not being paid while you're in your education training. You would be earning money while you're learning the job. And then we also have education. So if maybe you don't want to do on-the-job training, maybe you do need a certificate or you do need a credential to move into that career pathway, that's also an option. So short-term certificates are really popular. People like to, people might have a goal of getting their CNA or their CDL as those short-term certificate examples. And then we can help people if they have a goal of getting an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree. The one caveat there is we can only pay for a maximum of 2 years of education time. So if someone is pursuing a bachelor's, usually they have transferable credits from other education opportunities they've had. And then self-sufficiency skills, we do focus on self-sufficiency as our funding and our training is temporary. It's not unlimited and forever. So we really hope to help people establish tools that will help them be self-sufficient while they're getting assistance through our program. And then something unique about our program, we do have supportive services. And so if someone was, let's say, in an education training program, and while they were in that training, they also have, they're single parenting and they don't have childcare lined up, we can support that person while they're doing their educational training with a dependent care activity. And so when I say that things are temporary, that is what I mean. The supportive service is super helpful while that person is in school, but it's not, it can't last after the school program is completed. So we want to help people understand how to use their resources around them as well. And next slide. So in our local area, which is Central Iowa, we have 5 areas that have been identified as in-demand fields. And so you're maybe not surprised if you see this here: healthcare, there's a lot of need. Transportation, if you have any product delivered to you ever, it probably went through a truck. So transportation is a huge industry across the United States, but especially in Central Iowa. And then financial services. It's also kind of an insurance town, if you will. And we have a lot of openings within the financial services umbrella. I always like to say that these are big umbrellas that employ a lot of people who do a lot of types of jobs. So, if you're looking at healthcare and you're like, well, I don't want to be a doctor, that's not the only pathway into a healthcare industry. So sometimes just keep an open mind, because there's a lot going on with all of these industry sectors. So next slide. Eligibility. So who's eligible for our program? All that information I shared before of like being over 18 and being registered for selective service, all those things are true, but we do have to prove it. So we have to have a government ID or a social security card or a birth certificate or some sort of work authorization. Selective services, again, males born in 1960 or later must be registered for selective service. If you are a veteran, we would collect a DD-214. And then if you're a dislocated worker, we would expect some sort of letter or document from the employer stating the dislocation. Or if you're a claimant for unemployment and you've been on unemployment for a little while, if you're receiving reemployment services, that would also work for dislocation. So next slide.
All right, thank you,
So if
Aaron.
you're wondering where to go, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, Aaron, for talking about your Title I services. That wraps up our win for the day. Right here, we have some different AJCs locations throughout the state. We have Des Moines, Sioux City, Mason City, and Council Bluffs. Feel free to reach out to them if you have any questions or if you're having any issues with your claims, or you want to do some job search, you want to work with a career planner, if you want to get signed up for a registered apprenticeship, any of these things. Also, we've provided you guys with individual contacts just for you guys that are going through the win today. So in Des Moines, we have Jennifer Diorio. In Sioux City, we have Andrea Hernandez. In Mason City, we have Rita Miller. And then in Council Bluffs, we have Avila. Thank you for joining us today, and give us a contact or come in and see us if you have any questions. Thank you.